Hello and welcome. This is the crypto day morning for the date of Tuesday, the 10th of July, 2018. My name is Derek. And like always, all risks you take, all bets, all trades are within your own risk, own reward. And within crypto trading, you are in control of your own portfolio. So for myself, portfolio risk reward management is always job number one. Bitcoin prices are down 5.9% with the price in at around 6,400. Everything pretty much has this similar looking chart of it just recently going straight down. In the most recent time, Ethereum down 9, and practically everything we can see is sharing that. Most of them are down greater percentage points. We're seeing a lot of 8, 9s, and 10s in here. Tezos is not doing such. And Bitcoin Gold, interestingly, is not participating too much in this decline, or it's been holding well, outperforming the price of practically all alternate cryptocurrencies. But for the majority of everything, it's down. We can see around 9, 10, 12% across the board. And on the daily term time frame for Bitcoin, we are seeing a price move on the daily term that has made it to the 18 average of lows. So therefore, this is the big area spot, the higher low point in which you want to see this market correct within. If it's going to be a successful correction, you're probably going to see such from this point on, where in the next day or two, we'll probably at least have a rally come up to 6,500 and change. And more importantly, support this area. Whether it's done this down move now and it can pierce below it even further, that's still fine, because when I look at a key area, and in this case the 18 lows area of about 63 and change, well, I now want to see this area hold and stay there, which means it can go below in a fast, quick little move, sort of like this candle on June 24th, if you can see this lower line, something that may go lower and come back. That's normal as well. If this is going to be a failure, then if we're going to see weakness amongst this area, maybe find resistance in the next couple of days at this level, then that most certainly is a bearish sign. And if we're going to continue to head lower, then this thing can continue going down to its previous low in at 57. And whether it has any type of bounce first, but regardless of the fact, any move towards there is going to be, it's very difficult in a bear market. After you have a leg lower, you have your correctionary move, and this was a very large and extended one within the 18. And then when you retrace lower, that breaking down below the previous low is not a surprise, and in such creating a new lower leg on the chart. When we look at this shorter term, it just all pretty much fell at once. However, the majority of the selling was from about 66 down to about 63, under 300 points. Thus under 5%, closer to 4 on the downside. A couple indicators really made it not that big of a surprise. Notwithstanding, of course, the fact when these things lately have been going up and down, it's been doing a lot of elevator rides. Of course, this one pretty much no exception. But it was spending many periods amongst in here, falling from 66.80 down to about 66.20, losing 1% of it, just grinding its way through. But what happened here, I've talked about this before, this is becoming a classic situation where if we look at this and try to examine, well, what happened to bring this spike like this? Say we go to a 15-minute time frame, we can see it here, and this tells us right now that it went up first, and then it sold off immediately within such. Where if we even try to go to the 3-minute and scroll back to such an event, this was a spot where it was playing its low volatile trading. There comes the big buy candle with huge volume compared to its previous ones. It immediately sells off. It immediately fails amongst the 18, at least on the 3-minute time frame it did. And then immediately resisting it thereafter. So I've seen this pattern many times, especially lately within the Bitcoin, where it's going to have a failed breakout to the upside and then show something like this for thus a failed move, fast move lower. And when now just finishing Bitcoin off again, if this thing ends up having a leg lower in here, breaking this level of 57 support, how large of a leg lower? I don't know. It could be a standard one, where maybe you go to 52 or 5,000 or something in the area, a little above or a little below 10%. But the game is in a live situation to have any type of capitulation style moves as well. And it becomes more alive because for it to be such, it becomes more probable in a break of such a pattern where the 23.6% long-term Fibonacci, which is a little over 6,000, when it fails and it breaks below such, it's not a surprise to have a fast move to the next one. And of course, the next one is a hair above 3,000. Usually it pierces extra. So that is the analysis for Bitcoin. Let's just do a quick little review of some altcoins. Start off with DGB, which has had a large red down day yesterday, but not really. It's had a large run up. So it goes from 300 up to 685, doing better than doubling the price. Its pullback has been down to 538, which means it has given back about 150 points less than. So it's about a 30 plus, or excuse me, a 30 minus, but 20+% decline, closer to 25% at this point. We look at this, say, on a shorter term time frame, like the 1 hour. What has remained in such is great day trading or very short-term trading when you have intraday moves where it goes down to 555 in a correctionary move and then back up to 619. And that's a differential of like 60 points on 555. So there's 10%. And we're talking day trade, very short term. Even on the 15-minute time frame, we can even see this rally here from 582 up to 625. 18 plus 25 is 43, 8%. This last rally now, that's at 583 or 582, came from 537. So that's almost 50 points. So we're getting a lot of nice little 10% moves. And even for short term, if you're looking for 2-3% moves, they are happening a lot faster and not more frequent. And even on the short term now, maybe it's ready to poise for a move up to this level here. But I think it's safe to state that this thing is still in a wild, volatile situation. It still needs time to settle down. And if it doesn't settle down, then that means wild moves either direction can be possible. Thus, it could easily break down here, moving to the below 500 very fast if it so desires, which means people sell in large numbers. And then if it so desires, it's already had a little bit of a correctionary move where you can start talking about if this thing rallies higher, maybe you find resistance around the high 600s where you found it before. But it could, on a quick pop, just do such of the in name, go well over 700 and then do its thing when markets are ready to go. And thank you for, actually I'm not done, I got a few other couple alts I want to talk about. Let's next look at Ethereum Classic against the US dollar. It too is coming down to its 18 average after bottoming on June the 10th. Since the move, it has been successful on a bullish level within such. The last time it had its quick move up, it came down. This is a situation, as mentioned, about holding and staying above. I don't mind it having a move like this, as I stated with Bitcoin, where it has a significant line below it, but it just maintains it, and it's almost as if this line didn't exist given the market movement. And that's what I mean by holding and staying above or below a particular area. So it was a noticeable but really small break above 17 2/3 its last run up, which went little south of 19. And therefore, as long as this thing can end up holding roughly at around 1570 and 3/4, 1575, which was this little key area of resistance, then I don't think there's too much worry for concern. But this is going to be Bitcoin follow. It's not going to be, maybe, I mean, Bitcoin Gold decided to change suits, but in a spot where if Bitcoin goes up, it's going to follow. If it goes down, it's going to follow as well. And yes, I'm going to end the video now. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.